In this video we will show you how to prepare a solution starting with the solid. You'll need DI water, a volumetric flask, and your solid. Bring your solid in a weigh vial into the balance room and weigh out the proper amount of solid that you'll need to prepare your solution. If you get too much, just take some out and then get the proper amount that you'll want for your solution. This should be a calculated value based on the concentration you're trying to get. Then take your solid back to your benchtop and add it to your volumetric flask using a funnel. Then you'll want to rinse your vial with deionized water and pour that into the volumetric flask. You can then use your wash bottle filled with distilled water to fill the flask to about the halfway point with water. You don't want to fill all the way because you want to have room to dissolve your solid. Once you've filled it to about halfway, remove the funnel and cap it and shake. Sometimes it takes a really long time to dissolve your solid, so you'll want to be patient as you dissolve your solid. You'll just want to keep stirring and shaking the volumetric flask to get all of that solid dissolved in the distilled water. Here we see that there's still a little bit of solid left, so we have to keep shaking to get that part dissolved. Once your solid has dissolved, you'll keep adding distilled water to the flask. So you can uncap your volumetric flask and use your wash bottle again to keep adding distilled water to your solution. If you prefer, you can also use a beaker for this task, although you want to be careful when pouring the water to not over add, otherwise you'll have to repeat this process from the beginning. So as you approach the neck of the volumetric flask, you'll want to stop adding from the wash bottle and obtain a pipette so that you can add water much more slowly. So add your distilled water via pipette. As you approach the marking on the volumetric flask, you'll want to slow down with your additions to make sure you don't go past the line. As you get close to the line, you'll want to make sure that your meniscus is the part that's touching the line, not just the top of the water level. So here, we still needed a couple more drops to get the meniscus at the line, and this is perfect. So when you get to this point, stop adding water, cap your volumetric flask, and shake to get a homogeneous solution.